Hey guys, it's Dave again, back again. Welcome back to Dave's Dimension, back again for another video. So we're doing a couple things today. We're not doing anything Ghostbuster related. This video is dedicated to my other love, Back to the Future, which is why we got the old Flex Pack powered up in the background just in case something crazy happens. So a lot of crazy things been going on this past year. I'm not going to mention that thing. This year is actually the 35th anniversary of Back to the Future. To me, I love Ghostbusters. It's one of my all-time favorites. I'm a big 80s person. I mean, usually when I go for a bike ride, I'm rocking out to some Huey Lewis. Okay, let's just put it that way. Last year was the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters. This year is the 35th anniversary of Back to the Future. Sorry, guys. So this year, there's been a lot of Back to the Future merchandise floating around. And there's a toy company, collectible company, known as Neca, N-E-C-A. They make some amazing, awesome figures and collectibles. I mean, everything from horror movies such as Reanimator, Army of Darkness, Predator. I mean, they make some of the most realistic looking figures. To me, some of the best ones they ever did was back in 1990, there was the first live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. They have a whole collection of their figures, and I got some of them in the back there. They're just amazing. And this year, they decided to take on my favorites, Back to the Future. Okay? So today we're doing an unboxing of two of their collectibles. They actually have Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2 Marty. So we're going to go through these today. I did do a previous video where I got the radiation suit version Marty, and also Biff Tannen. So if you haven't seen that video, check out the channel below. You'll pull it up and check it out to get your opinions. I did an unboxing of those two, plus NECA's take on the DeLorean from part 1. There were some criticisms about the car because I think some of the paint, if they took a little extra time with the paint application, it could have been much better. My license plate decal was a little crooked. So instead of it looking all cockeyed, there was no way to remove it and reattach it. I tried a little bit of heat to try and get it off, and I couldn't reapply it afterwards. So I left it with the license plate off, which is actually a bit more screen accurate because after Doc demonstrates to Marty what the car actually does, the license plate spins and flies off the vehicle after it time travels for the very first time with Einstein in it. So that's actually screen accurate now. Happy accidents, right? So we're going to jump right into this, guys. So here we are. You got your basic art on here. Great poster art, okay, mind you. I mean, if I'm an out-of-box collector, so I'm not saving the boxes, okay? You get the DeLorean being struck by lightning either way. On the back, we got some nice art gives you a few suggestions on how you can pose Marty. He's got the camera. He's got his guitar. You can even put him on, he comes with a skateboard. Skateboard, backpack, couple hands. Now you're wondering, why are there 3 hands? It's because one of them has a little guitar clip on it, which is pretty cool. And it's got his guitar. Honestly, I would have loved if they could have, I know it's more of a full-size thing, but like, if I were you, if you're a big Back to the Future fan, you might want to make your own ginormous speaker for Marty to plug the guitar into. That's just a crazy thought of mine. And I mean, just out of the box, you can take a look here. It's pretty good likeness of Michael J. Fox from back then. It's a little bit heavy on the makeup, I think. That was my take on the other figures. So we're going to cut right into this bad boy right now, guys. Got the trusty bat knife. Okay. Someone asked me the other day, you know, why do I do my videos? What's my whole spin on it? I'm like, well, I don't really have a spin. I just like to do a actual unboxing. Now, of course, we got the twist ties and plastics. I just like to do a regular unboxing, give my honest opinion. I don't have a gimmick. I'm not trying to be Joe Schmo. I am just trying to be me, trying to give a good, honest opinion on these unboxings. Passing my thoughts. Maybe you have the same kind of thoughts that I have. Maybe not. That's the great thing about YouTube. It's the great thing about the internet. We can all have our own opinions and takes on impressions of what we are looking at and checking out and discussing. So here's the skateboard right off the bat. I mean, that is phenomenal. I just love it. It's very awesome art here. I mean, and it rolls. The skateboard rolls. Here, let me see if I can do this real quick. Sorry, guys. See? Even sounds like a little skateboard. So let's check out everything else while I'm getting the plastics off of here. Actually, I might use bat knife again. There we go, one down. Second first, just like the first. And apparently I didn't hit mute on the computer. That's okay. Now, there is one little thing. I mean, obviously, right off the bat, when I'm looking at his sneakers, they don't have the Nike swoosh. They just kind of have like almost like a meteorite or laser blast. That's probably because of the rights. We know how Nike can be about when it comes to rights and commercial rights, likenesses. That should not be a problem. I mean, if you got a nice red Sharpie, you can probably just make the little swoosh yourself if you want. But hey, like I say in my videos, it's your collectible, it's your item. You display it how you want it. If you want to mod, do a little paint mod on it, go right ahead, guys. That's your prerogative. It's your collectible. Okay, we got a nice Michael J. Fox with shades. The only problem is these are not the reflective shades that we know him for. I mean, you could probably do a little dash of silver argent on it, but I'm probably not going to chance it because I don't want to get any on his face and then ruining the face. Knowing my luck, that's what would happen. They got the JVC camera. Of course, it's not 100% screen accurate because, again, the trademark, the rights. But he's got a nice little handle there so he can hold it. I mean, other than, you know, the rights, I mean, this is pretty spot on for a nice little accessory. Speaking of accessories, we got Marty's backpack, which has a nice little rubbery kind of strap. It's got some flex to it, guys. Got some flex, so you can throw it over his shoulder. And it looks like it might be holding some books, some heavy stuff down there. And this is pretty spot on. I mean, that's pretty awesome. The detail right there, the zipper. And now, like I said, the hands. See, that's his guitar clip right there. The other hands, they're just meant to be, you know, to probably hold the camera. They look a little veiny. If this may not come across there in this camera, that is. I have a new camera coming soon. The hands, they look very veiny. I mean, this might be how Michael J. Fox's hands might be now, given his age. But they look very veiny, and it's not overly great. I guess a little bit, if you have the right color skin tone paint, you could apply over it and it might cover it up. That's a thought. Just a thought, guys. So here we are. Marty from 1985. It's a pretty good likeness. Full head of hair. You know. I mean, obviously there was hair differences between the first and the second movie. I mean, they got the jacket just perfect. The vest, the shirt, even a nice little burgundy shirt he's wearing underneath his button shirt. I mean, the only thing we're not seeing is his suspenders. I mean, they even got his watch on that hand. That looks good. I mean, the pattern of the inside of his jacket cuffed around his wrists. I mean, this just looks, it looks fantastic, guys. The only thing is sometimes the feet are a little hard to position. On this one, he stands on his own. You don't need I usually use the Neca figure stands. I mean, this looks pretty good here, guys. I mean, this is heavy. I know there isn't something wrong with the gravitational pull of the Earth, guys. Those who are Back to the Future fans will get the joke. Arms are a little stiff, the forearms, that is. And I will say this, the cuff here, it's really hard plastic. You can almost kind of hurt yourself a little bit with it. Now, the hand rotates here, so the watch is part of, it's not going to slip off. That's part of the rest of his wrist. Got to play around with it to get him perfectly balanced on a skateboard. But it looks pretty good here. Whoa. Wipeout. Sorry, guys. You got a little crooked there. So. But with everything considered, this is pretty good. We'll take the jacket right off. Now here's his guitar. Comes with a nice little strap that is adjustable. Let me just fix this. I mean, if you want to, like a guitar player would, you can hang that right off his back. You know, like he's ready to jam with Marty and the Pinheads. That was the name of his group in high school when he tried out and was denied for the dance, saying that he was too loud. And that was Huey Lewis who actually said that, guys. So, I mean, the guitar is, they definitely did, they're great with doing the props, guys. I mean, even the dial there on the guitar is pretty good. This is definitely awesome. Let's see, can we get him to hold the camera? I'm going to try right now. Oh, we can get him to hold it. I gotta work on if we can get him to actually, I mean, we can get him to hold the camera. I don't think we'll be able to kind of like get it holding up. But let's try with the shades. Sorry, Michael J. Fox. Just took your head off. I didn't mean it. And that's just how it looks. I mean, swappable heads. Sometimes you do have to put a little pressure on here to get these guys on just right. Don't be afraid. Yeah, I kind of wish they could have done a little silver coat on there to make it a little bit more reflective. I mean, it's fine. This was the, Michael Jackson kind of look back in the day. What do you guys think? I mean, still pretty good sculpt. Put the other head back on. I mean, there's so much you can do with this. I mean, they got the lines, the wrinkles from his little down vest. Jeans. I mean, other than the sneakers, I mean, for the most part, the sneakers are pretty good. The jeans, I mean, they definitely knocked it out of the park with this one, guys. Now, with that being said, we're moving on to the next one, guys. Back to the Future 2. Now, as of yet, they are supposed to be coming up with Doc Brown, I think, sometime next month. Entertainment Earth has pre-orders on him and a few others, so we'll see what actually happens. Now, this one's going to be a little different. This has a few more accessories. We get an alternate Marty's head because he comes with Marty with the reflective hat on. We do have an additional hand, but we have the Coke, or rather the Pepsi, in this dispenser. We get a hoverboard with a couple pieces to go with it. And he's wearing the sneakers with the power laces. Of course, again, Nike is not present. Big shocker there, guys. Okay. Now, on here, they don't really give you they don't give you a bunch of extra poses on here like they did on the other one, which is perfectly fine. And again, they show you the full listing here. The Ultimate Marty's, 1985. Radiation Suits, 2015. Doc Brown from 1955. I would prefer if they released Doc from 85 first. But they also have Biff. If you haven't gotten Biff, I highly recommend it. The Biff character, he's just a perfect sculpt of Tom Wilson. It's amazing. So, again, we're going to start off with some of the accessories here. You got the hoverboard. Now, instead of Mattel, it says Neca, but of course, that's a nice little branding. Now, here's the thing. This hoverboard has a little piece here, but there's an identical piece that I guess is meant to go onto it, because there's a nice little plastic piece in here, guys. So if you have a nice level shelf or table, you could have the hoverboard hovering. Let's see if we can get that going. Not quite sure how that goes on. I'm going to try and figure it out. Okay. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how this goes on. I'm not going to spend too much time on this for you guys. But there's a piece here that is supposed to connect onto the board so that we can actually have and there is a swappable piece here, so this peg can go on Marty's foot and he can ride the hoverboard. So that's very cool. Now the extra hand here, I think, is for... Oh, they got some tape covering it. Okay. I think that's for the Pepsi bottle, because that's really the only other accessory that this comes with. It's a nice little hand for holding it. Again, it's got the weird kind of veins, almost Wolverine-esque. It's a little weird. So we got the little dispenser that comes out of the counter in the Cafe 80s. It looks like it wants to say Pepsi, but I'm not 100% sure, guys. So let's get Marty out. And what I'll actually do is a comparison between the jeans of Marty from 2015, because I think the 1985 ones are much darker now that I see the two figures side by side here. Continuity error. So here we are. Marty with his reflective hat, and I think they did a pretty good job with that. I mean, they can't do the same material color because it was more of a translucent, where depending on how the light hit it, it would change color. He's got his power laces. It's a little weird that he's got his jeans flooded like that, you know, folded up, cuffed. I want to say that's not how it was in the movie, but I could be wrong. There he's wearing his burgundy shirt with the futuristic jacket, and I think they really did great. I mean, this has some flex to it, so, you know, this feels pretty good. He's not wearing his watch. Now, like I said, I was going to compare the two. I think his jeans in 1980 are a little bit more what's the word on the floor? They're more shiny than these. I mean, the only difference in the two of these is he just has his pockets pulled out because the kids of the future wear their pants inside out. He's not wearing his pants inside out. He's just wearing his pockets inside out because you can see his pockets there. So it's just a little weird that this is a darker color because Marty didn't turn his jeans inside out. He just pulled his pockets out like Doc told him. So, but there they are. You know, Marty talking to Marty. Now there is another Marty head here, and this is obviously from the hoverboard chase scene. So here's 2015 Marty. Here's the other Marty head. I mean, you can see the hair is very different. I mean, obviously Michael J. Fox's hair was much different from part 1 to part 2. I mean, they filmed part 2 in 1989, and part 1 was filmed in it came out in 1985. So I mean, you know, you can't get the hair perfectly right, but it's pretty good. So there they are, guys. Marty McFly in 2015. Let's see if we can get the hoverboard to cooperate. Yeah, this just kind of pegs right off. Or does it? I think I might have made a little boo-boo. Yep. Yeah, I think I might have goofed it up a little bit. Yeah, it's not what I would do, guys. If you're gonna get him positioned just right, I would be careful. It looks like this was not exactly meant to come off. Looks like there was some adhesive here, because I could see a little faded paint right there, guys. So that's a mistake. You want to be careful about that. And that's one of the reasons why I do these videos, because if I make a mistake, I can let you guys know about it, and then you can avoid it. So this does peg off, okay? Now, I could just take a little Gorilla Glue, drop that in, let this sit overnight, and this will be good as new. So that's no harm, no foul. Now, I'm putting the peg in here. And we're going to see if we can get Marty to get on the hoverboard. Now, the thing about these NECA figures is sometimes the pegs are not so easy to get the feet onto. And if they're going to do the hoverboard here, I really hope that they do Griff, the future version, the descendant of Biff, his grandson, and hope they do all the hoverboard that they had. So, I mean, there he is. Of course, I gotta put the other head on so it looks accurate. So we have that there. Oh, and this pegs right off, so that's why I was goofing up earlier. So now, see if we can get him to stand a bit more straight. So this is something you can do with the little stand that comes with them. Marty on a hoverboard. So yeah, guys, be careful when you're trying to get this off. I actually used a bat knife here and kind of tabbed on the disc itself until it kind of just popped off, kind of like a Lego, so to speak, because it's just got a little peg in there. But be careful when it comes to this part coming off. I am going to do some Gorilla Glue on it, just a dab, just to get in there so it can hold in, so I have that piece. But be careful. I mean, I put it on there, it's not coming off. So maybe it is meant to come off, maybe it isn't. So just a little buyer beware, be caution, guys. So those are 1985 Ultimate Marty and 2015 Ultimate Marty. I got these for $29.99 on Amazon. Okay, that's pretty fair price. Initially, I had ordered these back in August, early August, from Entertainment Earth, but they kept pushing the date back, so I just canceled the order and figure, okay, I'll wait, I'll bide my time. And not bad. And this is not bad for a couple reasons. One, I mean, it's just amazing on here, amazing quality. And second, because I have a birthday coming up in a couple days, and Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies of all time. So this is kind of like a birthday gift to myself. And we got the Flux Pack in the background, fluxing. So tell me what you guys thought about these figures. Now, as far as the movement, aren't the forearms a little bit more flexible than the other figure? I mean, you have full rotation on the hand because, well, the hand just pops right off. Just on a little ball, kind of a ball joint. Look, he's erasing from existence. Yeah, I couldn't resist, guys. I know. It's a bad joke. So, again, these figures, they just look so fantastic. I mean, the coloring on here is just right. I mean, hair applications, just amazing on here. So, what do you guys think about these? Are there any Back to the Future characters that you're hoping that they come up with? I mean, do you want to see 1985 Doc? Do you want to see Future Doc? I believe Future Doc is coming out. Do we want to see any other characters? Do we want a Strickland? Do we want a Jennifer? And if we do get a Jennifer, do we want her Claudia Wells? Or do we want her Elizabeth Shue? Or do we want an alternate head that has both of them? You know? I can actually pose Marty with the almanac because the almanac comes with Biff. So that's something fun I can do. I wish they would have included a little bag. So it looks like Marty's coming out with the bag. But, I mean, the sneakers are pretty cool. It's cool that they got the mag or the representation of what says mag on there. But these figures, you really, guys, you can't go wrong. If you're an 80s fan, you love Back to the Future, this is a must-have. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, speaking of Back to the Future, and of Ghostbusters, actually, I got a little gift from, well, not really a gift, but a trade from one of my friends up in Canada. I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. Danelle Roy or Waugh, depending on how you pronounce it. She wanted a Ghostbuster patch, and I had an extra, so I traded with her, and she sent me one of hers. This is a Back to the Future Ghostbuster mashup, with the ghost having the out-of-time license plate, got the DeLorean right there, the hoverboard, and it's Marty in his 1985 gear, and got the gull wings right behind him. I mean, this is awesome. So I got this and these today, so it's kind of a very cool gift day, if you will. And like I said, yeah, I got my 42nd birthday coming up this Thursday, October 15th. So yeah, I'm 42 and I don't feel it. I still feel like I'm in my 30s, but that's a good thing. And not to mention, if you've seen these videos before, you know I've been working on my health, getting much healthier, much lighter as far as weight. So yeah. One of the big things that I will say about this is sometimes the ankles, the feet on here can be stiff as hell, so it's a little bit hard to pose some of them. The Marty in his radiation suit, I kind of have to almost tilt him on something just to hold him up so he doesn't tip over. And usually it's the right side that I have a little bit of stiffness with. I mean, if you play around with it, you probably can loosen it up a little bit. And that's what I'm going to plan to do. But I plan to display him on the hoverboard. Now, what's great about this is this pops right off. This piece can come off. You can just have it as is, or put it on here, and you can kind of Hope that it doesn't fall off like it just did. Pushing it back on. But no, you can angle it up or down, left or right. So you can kind of like have him on an angle. Kind of like when he's trying to get away from Griff's gang and, you know, he's going around the rocks. So, I mean, this is a very good representation of the hoverboard here. Let me put the peg back on there. I mean, if you plan to leave the peg on, a few drops of some super glue or something will just keep it from falling off. But it's pretty good. Well, I shouldn't say pretty good. It's pretty awesome, actually. I really hope they keep this line going. I want an 1885 Marty. Got to get Marty in the Clint Eastwood clothes. Him and Doc. I mean, Doc and the Duster would be amazing. It's one of my favorite series of all time. I mean, hell, I got a picture of Chris Lloyd up there with me and Christopher Lloyd posing with the DeLorean back about 2 years ago at Niagara Falls Comic Con. And that was an awesome time because, I mean, I got to meet the Doc. I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, the guy's been in every movie you could possibly think of. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I mean, he was in the TV show Taxi. Fester from the Addams Family. I mean, literally, the list goes on and on. He's done voice work. Christopher Lloyd's a legend. And I got to pose with him, and I got to shake his hand. All that I said was, thank you very much, Mr. Lloyd. I mean, what more can you say? You just kind of think the guy wasn't going to take up all his time, but I got to pose next to a DeLorean with the Doc. And I had that with me. So, best of both worlds. Ghost busting and time travel. All rolled into one. So, that's the video for this edition, guys. That's Dave's Dimension. My craziness. I reorganized the back a little bit. Now I have a whole section here that's kind of empty, and now I got to fill it up, guys. You got some suggestions for some collectibles coming out soon, whether they're Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, horror, like, I mean, Hellraiser cubes. I mean, come on, guys. You may not know this, but I love horror movies. I mean, Return of the Living Dead, all of them, basically. Chopping Mall. I mean, just the original Jack Frost. Not the one with Michael Keaton, the one where it's a killer snowman killing people left and right. Dr. Giggles. I mean, Candyman, you name it. I love all those horror films. If there's maybe some collectibles you want me to check out along those lines, trust me, I would love to. Still have the Power Ranger collection over there. Kind of reorganized that a little bit. I'm not overly excited right now. I'm kind of stalled on what figures to add to my collection as far as the Mighty Morphin, the Power Ranger Lightning collection. I got Magna Defender. I got Zeo Ranger Red, Dino White, Dino Thunder White, I should say. I mean, I got a bunch of them. Some of the ones I'm apprehensive on, I'm holding off because I don't like the face sculpts. Hasbro's really got to do something about the face sculpts. Yeah. I did pre-order the Hasbro Plasma collection, Ecto 1, which that's not coming out until like January, but I'm like really excited for that. I did order, me and a buddy went in on a set of Gigatron, or Gigawatts, I think he's called. It's a Transformers Back to the Future mashup. Hasbro and IDW Comics went in on it, where they did Transformers meets Back to the Future. I read the first comic. I didn't get the paper comic. I did the digital one, and it was, the first issue's kind of rushed. It's a nice little start to it. It gives a very Back to the Future 2 vibe. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting, and I'll catch you on the flip side.